any pain points that you're having in QuickBooks, anything that's really irking you, bothering you. We're always working on making Tabby kind of just building it around the accountants and what they need. So I'll definitely be taking all of that into consideration as we continue to develop it. Let me see if my camera turns on. Okay, awesome. I think I'm on my phone. All right, guys. My name is Ahad Ali, and today I'll be showing you just a little bit about how bookkeeping can really be automated, to a certain extent in your firm, in your accounting firm, in your bookkeeping practice, and overall save you time. And we can move on to some higher value tasks that I'll show you. So let's jump in. A little bit about me. I'm a New York City based CPA, previously ran an accounting firm of about 20 plus team members. Started that from zero and scaled it over 10 years. And then recently, about a year ago, um, left that role. Um, and now I'm leading Tabby, which is what I'm going to show you. I do a lot of content on social media, kind of like my hobby. I have about 250,000 followers across Instagram and TikTok. Probably a combined 100 million views on all the different videos on it's all tax, accounting, that kind of stuff. And I'm really passionate about helping accountants, um, embrace AI. AI is here to stay and here to stay for good. And it's only going to get powerful. What you see today, or I like to put it this way: what AI cannot do today, it can do tomorrow. Just as a analogy, it's just getting so we want to embrace it. Um, and what I've noticed is this traditional accounting software wasn't built for today's speed, right? People expect efficiency, speed. They want value than just data. They want more than just data from an accountant, and so we just have to stay up to date. And just some things that I personally felt, wasn't fair. QuickBooks continuously raising its prices without delivering real value. The manual work in existing softwares, just categorization and all that, cleanup, too manual. The month ends were taking longer. QuickBooks has become bloated and increasingly complex. They're just like so much things. You have loans, you have banking, you have all these other, non-accounting matters that are constantly just, filling up, space and shifting focus away from our core work, which is delivering clean books and records to our clients. And adding AI on top of legacy software is just hasn't the experience hasn't been that great, is what I'm hearing from other accountants that use it. Just the wrapper, whereas Tabby's AI native, right? AI from the ground up. So, I just asked, like, what if, we AI can help accountants become more efficient without adding complexity? Because complexity is just another time killer. It just kills time. So we just want to keep it simple, and then also make sure it's making us more efficient. So I'm gonna just jump in without further ado, and kind of show you exactly how it works, the looks and feels, how the AI works, what the automatic transaction categorization look like, the syncing, uh, uploading, a magic link feature to connect bank accounts, matching receipts, invoices, collecting payments, bills, reports, multi-entity reports, migrating from QuickBooks, and an accounting dashboard. So that is all. Yeah. So let's jump in. Let me quit my screen here. Right before I jump in, I think I had one more thing I just wanted to show you. Currently, where we are with Tabby, we've launched, like I said, about a year ago. We have over 100 accounting firms signed up for Tabby, using it. Some have a few clients, some have many, and that is basically from those accountants using it. We've seen that they feel there's less manual work, faster month-end reviews, cleaner books, better visibility, more time for tax planning and advisory, easier collaboration with clients. So they felt some accounting firms mentioned up to 50% in reduction in time. And also just, I'm sure pricing and whatnot is on everyone's mind. So just to also keep that transparent, it's free for your accounting firm, for, the full license to try and do everything. You just have to um, you just pay for every client per month $15. It's essentially like a wholesale pricing offer to the accountant. The same product, if a small business owner just want to directly sign up and DIY, it's $40 a month. So essentially from the 40, it's down to 15 for the accounting firms. So that's where we are in terms of the current firms that are using Tabby. And this is pretty much just a start for us. So yeah, let's jump in and show you Tabby. Yeah. So here we are. This is Tabby Accountant Dashboard. So you'll have all your clients here and you'll have a high level overview of how many you have to review, how many team members, how many accounts they have linked, if there's any disconnected link accounts, status, and then to switch, you just click on open and we switch between them. On managing your clients is in this dashboard. Managing your team is available in this dashboard where you can add team members. You can say you choose a staff role and you can assign clients to them individually. So that is feature. So you can just assign one client, five clients. You can assign somebody as an admin. What the admin does is they get access to all clients and they can add clients. So, somebody's just managing. So we have this, super easy management of your team, of your clients. And then billing is also managed by the accounting firm directly. So it's billed to you, $15 a month. You can deactivate anytime. You can cancel, download your invoices. Everything is in one place. When you get started for the first time, we do have a getting started and kind of mentions try Tabby for your firm. So all the things here, add a client in your team. So a little bit onboarding is is there. So to guide you, some videos, quick uploads. So really making it a seamless process. So let's jump into a client. So everything I'm going to show you that you can do on the client side can all be done on your firm. So where I'm at right now is the accounting firm side, and we have all the functionalities available. So accountants can. There is no. Did you say there's a cost? No, there's no cost to add team members. Team members are free. There's no. It's not a per seat pricing. It's just a per client. So you can have 10 team members. Your pricing will not change. Um, so yeah, everything I'm gonna jump in. So here I'm in a client. I can switch between clients here at the top here. I can also switch here. So for example, I'm gonna go into this client leading goods store. Um, can I read check copies? That's a good question. I'm gonna come back to some of these questions. They're really great questions you guys are asking. I'm gonna come back to all of that once we kind of quickly run through this. So the very first thing is you want to get your accounts connected, your clients' accounts. So our connection is through Plaid. Many of you probably use Plaid. Offers of 12,000 or plus bank accounts, at your fingertips and very secure and trusted by Fortune 500 companies. So Plaid is secure. Now, if you have the clients log in, sometimes clients add you as a user on their bank. You can do this yourself. Now, if you don't, we have an option called Send Magic Link. So what this does is it simply just sends an email to the client. They get an email and they click on the email and they don't have to log in. They don't need any passwords. Instantly, they can just connect their bank account. So this was just a friction point we heard from many accountants. Clients don't remember their QuickBooks password. They have multiple accounts, so many problems. So getting your client to connect bank accounts is simple, just using a magic link. So we have that feature there. So once transaction, and also I'll show you guys as well, you can upload PDF and bank statements. So yes, there's obviously clients, there's some old school clients, they're not very digital. They give you bank statements and so on. So if you need to do the bookkeeping using bank statements, you can upload bank statements here up to 12 at a time, Excel, CSV, PDF, all of that stuff. So that's also there. So really, three ways where you can get transaction in Plaid, Magic Link, bank statements, so uploading it. All right. So once we're there, for example, in this test account, I have some bank accounts that are connected. And so what's happening is once a bank account is connected, Tabby is pretty much automatic. This green icon means Tabby has categorized it. So Tabby is automatically um, categorizing the transactions. Sometimes adding a vendor name, sometimes it's not. It depends on like just the trend. So let's just maybe go into one here. If I click on this one, like Wayfair, it looks like it added a vendor name as well. So it added, but it couldn't figure out the category. So the category is uncategorized. If I go to this one, like Crystal Windows, you can see there's a vendor, there's a category. So 70 to 80% of the transaction, it's doing it. It's adding this automatically vendor and category. So that's number one, time saving. It's also trying to match transactions. In this case, in this count, we don't have, but if there's a credit card payment from a checking account to a credit card, that's automatically being matched. If there's an internal transfer between two connected bank accounts, that's being matched. So those kind of internal credit card payments, transfers, all of those are automatically being matched and recorded in the GL instantly. In this case, I don't have any to show. Excluded is just personal transactions, maybe something you want to exclude. Um, and pending is things that need review. So for example, something that needs a review, we have a review tab here. So the review tab is where, you can just like export this whole this screen in Excel file, and then you can just share with with your client to get their answers. So we made it super simple. To categorize, basically, we have Ask Tabby as a help, but you can really just choose the category here. You can do it in bulk, but the categorization has like a learning system. So what I mean by that is that, say for example, this in Wayfair, they're buying furniture, so I just choose furniture on equipment. If I want to put it as an asset or I want to put it as an expense, depends, right? So probably some people, it depends on what you're buying. So whatever you put, I'll just, for example, let's just choose equipment. I maybe bought some sort of equipment, and I click on apply to change the category. And what it does is it applies to similar. If there's other Wayfair transaction, it's going to automatically categorize those, and it's also going to learn from this. So next time, it's not going to ask you about Wayfair. So that's kind of how it gets smarter over time. And if you categorize things like the first go, second go will be less and less to categorize, and so on and so forth. So you can do bulk categorization if you want, mark as business, and then you can choose brand, whatever you want. Ask Tabby is just a feature to help you categorize, but for most accountants, you probably be fine not using it. This is kind of just for like sometimes business owners may want to go in and do something. So that's the Ask Tabby is there. Essentially, um, transactions that need review, you review them, and based off of that, Tabby gets smarter and learns from your behavior. So it only gets, it only becomes more and more faster over time. So that's the review tab. That's transactions. So you get everything in there. Now let's look at some reports. I guess quickly before reports, there is a full chart of accounts here. You can see all, meaning everything we kind of preloaded with. Active means what's being used. Journal entries, you can import journal entries as a file. So like sometimes you just use the template, and maybe it's a large journal entry. I use Claude many times to help me do journal entries. So I can just tell Claude, hey, this is a template, give me all the journal entries, and I upload it. So you can import journal entries, bank recs, done by just uploading the bank statement. So you upload the statement, you choose which account you want to do a reconciliation, ending date, and then it'll tell you if everything is good. If not, it'll tell you what the errors are. So all of that function is there. Reports, we have your core reports that most businesses will need: P&Ls, balance sheets, AR, AP, a general ledger, tax ready reports. We also have this cool multi-entity consolidated P&L. Let's just show you a regular P&L. So let's just go into this last year. And we also have sub accounts, so you can have sub accounts under account. That's not a problem. And then if I just want to look at it on a monthly basis, I can look at it like this. I can click in the detail to see it, export it, and so on and so forth. Export this into PDF. So you have that. But A multi-entity consolidated P&L. In fact, if you have access to, you have multiple clients, and maybe you have a client that owns like four or five businesses, and you just want to show all of their businesses side by side. So this is just like this. You can generate a report that's all the businesses next to each other in one place. So it's good for comparison. It's good to share with a client that has multiple businesses. Essentially, in most other softwares, you have to switch between each client, download it separately, and then combine it. So in Tabby, we've made that super simple, where you just go and you just get the multi-entity consolidated reports. Balance sheet looks like this. You have your bank, if there's any petty cash, and then basically total assets is 1,015,000. You have your liabilities, your credit cards, some equity, retained earnings, net income, and then uh, total equities equals balance sheet. Net income takes you back to the P&L. All right. So aside from reports, you're doing your transactions, reviewing, categorizing. We also have a full income dashboard. So in this case, so what I'm showing you here, the accountant platform. Right now, clients don't have access to it except for linking their bank accounts. So that is current limitation. We're gonna add client access very soon. So that's where the invoicing. If the client does their own invoicing, they can use Tabby to do it while you also do work. We also have an expense dashboard where if you want to add expenses, just drop in, all you have to do is drop in a receipt. We can match the receipt to a transaction, or if it's a cash expense, the receipt will automatically be read by Tabby and it'll add the expense. So bills, adding manual receipts, in the income side, adding sales receipts, and so on and so forth. So right now for income, we are about to release a feature in 2 weeks to basically you can collect payments through Stripe. So you can sync your Stripe account to Tabby. That is gonna and also collect payments. It's coming in about 2 weeks. We're releasing a bunch of new features. Yeah, so let's just so switching between clients is very simple. Here is a client I'm in, and I want to switch to a different client. I'm here, I'm there, and I want to switch. So as you can see, how it's working, how it's moving, and I want to go back to my accounting firm. That's my accounting firm there. So let me get to the questions, and then we can probably continue. I know. Um, cool. So first thing is um, audit trail. Yes, we have audit trail. Can deleted transaction be restored? Okay. Deleted transactions cannot be restored right now, but audit trail is there for a transaction. So we are in, say, this one right here. There's an activity log at the bottom. So if it will kind of tell you who changed it here. So the activity log does track who changed things. Deleted transactions we cannot restore right now, but if that's I'm sure like there's probably some ways that can be done. Reports, yeah, everything can be exported to Excel. So this whole transaction table with all of the transactions. So if you want to look at one account, you can just filter. I'm just looking at this one. If I want to look at, and I can export everything. Yep, everything is exportable in the transactions, in the review, in reports. I believe even like we added some features where you can export customers. Let's see if that's there. You can import. So some clients want to import. If they want to do invoicing through Tabby, they can import customers. Oh, I didn't even cover QuickBooks migration, but basically, it's part of the feature here. QuickBooks migration is we just need like four files: a balance sheet, P&L, journal, and a general ledger. So we need four files from QuickBooks. We can go back the last 3 years and bring in transaction level data, meaning every single transaction, every single journal. And the nice part about it is we bring in the full chart of accounts from QuickBooks. So chart of accounts will be exactly how you had in QuickBooks. Also, we will learn from the rules and behavior in QuickBooks. So all the rules and things, the way you were categorizing things in QuickBooks, all of that also migrates over. So that's how the migration is very simple. You download those four files. it could be for 3 years together. So maybe 23 to 25. So 3 years all together, one file. And I have a whole demo and everything on this. Sorry, a whole like a video, YouTube video, like 5 minutes that goes over how to migrate. So when you go to the migration, here I cannot migrate because I already have data. So this is a problem. You need to migrate before you add any data in. So I think, for example, I have one client here, BR Steakhouse. I believe this one has no data, so it has some transactions. Never mind. So yeah, if you need any help there, the migration is super simple. 3 years of data in transaction level. Let's see. In Tabby, I cannot locate trial balance and adjusted trial balance. Does Tabby allow multi-destination sales tax? We don't have a trial balance right now. I can actually we're working on it. It's fairly simple report. It's a P&L and balance sheet combined. Um, so we'll have the trial balance probably 2 weeks or so. Multi-destination sales tax. We have sales tax. You can set rates for, let's go under expenses, income, sorry. You can have multiple rates for multiple, and then you can run a report. I believe we have a sales tax report. Yeah, we actually, no, we don't have a sales tax report, something we're working on right now. But we have multi tags or classes. Yeah, right now we don't have classes or locations. You can call it, some people call it. So this is a feature we've seen requests from a lot of people. Though it's a little bit of a complex feature, we are planning to have this in about 1 to 2 months. Before this coming January, before tax season, I mean, Tabby has a lot of features that we're working on right now. So you'll see tags and classes very soon. Yeah, that's everyone. Same question about classes. Adjusted trial balance report. We can get that with the trial balance. Multi-destination. Um, can you read check copies? Yeah. So that's a feature request we just got. So I'm actually thinking about adding this very soon. Maybe in less than a month. Essentially, if a transaction cannot be categorized and it's a check, let's go here. For example, this check. If I just upload this check image here, it will automatically fill in the vendor category and maybe some notes based on the check. So that is something maybe in bulk can be done. Um, you just upload in bulk all checks, and whatever transaction that Tabby has that are checks, it will automatically do it for you, kind of like a Claude function. So I think that is something in the works. Can review transaction be reconciled prior to reconcile? So we have this feature where, like, yeah, Tabby's automatically recording transactions in the GL and categorizing it. You can change it, of course, and if you change it, so for example, this equipment finance in this transaction here, it's put in equipment, and maybe I say this is marketing, just hypothetically. Then it will apply to everything else. If anything else that has a similar description, it'll apply, and then for next time it'll learn. So any change you make, Tabby will learn from it. Number one. Number two is we have an option. It's called marked as checked. So I can just, like, if I just want to double check Tabby's work and I want to confirm that I checked it, I can just click marked as checked. So if I mark as checked, as you can see, all these transactions. So this is kind of like you double checking Tabby's work and confirming that it's good. And so this is how you can review Tabby's work. Right? Can client upload receipts? Right now, like I said, clients don't have their own access. We will add the access also probably in a couple months, if not less. For now, you will have to get the receipts from them and then upload it here. Now, another thing about receipts is we are adding the option to email receipts. So we're gonna essentially every client will have their unique inbox for to forward receipts. Once it's forwarded, Tabby will attempt to auto match the transaction, or if it cannot match it, it will just leave it for you to review. But matching is available now. So did I understand that currently the client cannot use dashboard to enter invoices? So yeah, the correct though. So the alternative option is your client can sign up for Tabby on their own, and then they can add you as an accountant. So clients can just, like I said, the client pricing is a little different. It's $40 a month for the unlimited plan, which accountants have a $15. Um, and essentially, clients can add users, and they can add you as an accountant user. So then you'll be able to have access to their account, and they can do whatever they want. Right now, we haven't added it just because the price point is low, and we want to keep it simple. But we are getting this feature request very soon. I think we even have it under here under Magic Link. Oh, admin user coming soon. Yeah. So the admin user for clients will be coming soon if you sign them up directly, like you sign them up through your own portal. But if they sign up on their own, they can give you access and they can do the invoicing and you can do the bookkeeping as well. So that's the alternative method if the client's paying for it. Um, but in custom will be available. Yes, yeah, in a week. I wouldn't say weeks, probably a month to 2 months before we have the customer being able to access their dashboard, that you created for them. Right. QB desktop. Yeah, you can import from QuickBooks desktop. There's no you don't have to connect. The setting that I showed you is we need 4 reports. Balance sheet, general ledger, and there's a whole we have an article on this, how to import your QBO files into Tabby AI bookkeeping. I believe there's an article on this, even if I believe how to migrate. Yeah, there's a whole migration article here. It's a video, yeah. So we have a video. It kind of shows you the migration, drag and drop. So even Google AI has the overview. You drag and drop a few files: balance sheet, profit and loss, and general ledger. You drag and drop 4 files, and that's pretty much it. So it could be from desktop. It could be from any QuickBooks, as long as you have those 4 files. Is there a limit to number of accounts? Um, no limits to number of accounts in chart of accounts. No, no limit. Chart of account does not have a limit. In fact, I didn't even show you guys. We have an AI chart of account generator. So you can customize your client's chart of accounts. You can say, I run a hair salon, or my client runs a hair salon and pays staff and buy products. And something like that. I didn't even show this feature. It just will give you some. If you want to customize a little bit more, you can put any prompt you want, and you can say, I need a group of expense accounts for my restaurant, so on and so forth, and then it'll generate custom chart of accounts for you, asset liabilities. Right here, depreciation, expense accounts. It gave all expense accounts, cost of goods sold, utilities, so you can play around with that. If not, you can add your own, and you can add multiple chart of accounts at once. And you can also add sub accounts. So I do expense, um cost of goods sold. So if I do this one, and then this is a sub account, so I can do parent and I can do sub accounts too. All right. Does the system auto assign a sales tax based on the invoice address? No, that is not a feature we have right now based on location. That's a manual thing. Susan answered. Tina said, "Does the interface with bank pull bank statements or check copies?" Unfortunately, check copies nobody offers at the moment unless it's part of the bank statements. We don't have we try to keep Tabby affordable as well. And so bank statements, in fact, bank statements pulling directly into Tabby is an option, but not all banks offer this. Only like a handful of banks offer, like the big banks, Chase and others offer the bank statement PDF. We can pull it, but a lot of small banks don't. And also that's adds another layer of cost for us, and we're trying to keep it affordable. Obviously, we can add that feature, but maybe we may add it in a different plan in the future, where it might be a more, a more higher paying plan. So those people that want to pay a little bit more, you can get PDF bank statements inside Tabby directly. But again, it's only like 8 or 10 banks last time I looked at it. Play doesn't offer all the banks. If a client signs up on as a, will the client be visible in our dashboard, or is it a separate login? Yeah, it's a good question. Right now, the login unfortunately is separate, but we are trying to integrate the dashboards into one. So whereas this is your accountant dashboard, right? The way you see here, but if the client invites you, it they will not be here. So accountants log in using accountants.usetabby.com and clients log in using app.usetabby. So yes, it becomes two different logins. However, this is like a very kind of a urgent fix that we're trying to make where you just log into accountants.usetabby and then you can, no matter if the client invited you or you added them, all will be accessible from one place. So yeah, that is certainly one that is on my radar to get fixed. Sales tax for Department of Revenue sales tax rates. No, right now we don't have a way to add sales tax rates that you're saying. Obviously, it's a manual, but I'm sure we can probably add a feature like we have here for customers where you can, or actually not for customer, we have it for vendors. We have an import vendor. I believe we had a import vendor a feature. I think it's right. Okay, it's actually not here yet. It's in the others profile. But just like how we can import journal entries, I think we can add a feature for importing. So a lot of the things here, I'll also show you guys, my right. This is us, my email, how to use Tabby and everything. So you can always email me like any issues that you have, or like feature requests and stuff like that. I think can you share cost of accountant versus clients again? Yes. So accountants is $15. So if you go to Tabby, use tabby.com, you go to accountants, you sign up here. I want to make sure everyone has the link to sign up if you haven't. I will share it here. Sign up here as an accountant because you don't get the free account if you sign up with a regular way. So it says it here. I think down here we mentioned $15 per month. Like I said, try to keep everything transparent. Yeah, $15 per month. The small businesses directly pay. So we have different plans for the businesses, by the way. We have a $0 plan. You can connect one account, track $15,000 expense. You don't have to pay anything. It's a completely free account until you hit $15,000 in annual expenses, or you want to connect a second account. After that's $29. You track up to 200,000 expense, connect three accounts. After that's unlimited at $40. So this unlimited is what accountants are getting, and it's a 14-day free trial for the business owner if they want. But that's the pricing there. Can you share 1099s? Yeah, we have a feature for 1099. So the feature for 1099, how it works is you when you have vendor in this, there's no vendors here. Let me go to one that has a vendor. Okay. So I will go to expenses, I will go to vendors. So you can request 1099s. So here we have the import vendors here actually. So you can request W9s. So say this US, this one, right? I can do request W9. So what this does is you just enter the information, email, and they get a W9 to electronically sign. You cannot at this moment file 1099s through Tabby. However, you can collect 1099. So once this person gets an email, you'll see all of your vendors that have a 1099. We are adding a report here that is going to allow you to just pull a report with all of the 1099 eligible. So not only can you send requests for 1099s, is you can also mark vendors as 1099 eligible. Maybe you don't want to use Tabby to, let me go into vendors. Maybe you don't want to use Tabby to send, maybe you already have a W9 on file for them. You just want to mark them as 1099 eligible. So we don't, it's that option is not here right now. But it's kind of like we just finished adding that feature. Probably it's going to be next week on where it's going to get, it's going to be a little box. You check 1099 eligible, and then we'll have a report that you can pull all of the 1099 eligible vendors and see how much you paid them. So that feature is there. Um, we also have a feature. Oh, it's not here. It's not on the accountant side. There's something sometimes we update a little bit after, but we have a way where you can just see the vendors that are under every chart of account. without actually clicking on it. So it's just a feature here. So it's we're adding this probably also next week. We just finished testing it, but you just click on it and it'll just show a P&L by like it'll show accounting, and under accounting, whatever vendors there are, it'll show you it's called a vendor P&L, vendor slash customer P&L. So under revenue, if you have all the customers, it'll show you without needing to click. Super neat feature that we got as a feature request and we added, and it's gonna be live and also a good next week. Um, yeah, the sales tax is purely like it's manual. Unfortunately, right now you have to add the rate and everything. But once you add the rate, right? Once you add the rate here, then whenever you generate an invoice, um, you just choose the tax. Well, actually, when you create an item, you choose the tax. You configure the tax. So that way, every item, whatever tax you want to apply to that item, is automatically added to every invoice. So that's how you do invoicing. You have invoicing, you can preview, change the setting, minimal, modern, whatever that works. Yeah, thanks, Tina, about the 1099. Yeah, like that was the 1099 is a super useful feature. Actually, in fact, it was requested by a few accountants that we were speaking to. You can request it and then directly through Tabby and then file it on your own. Other, some people use 1099 online, Zenwork, there's many out there. I know we're running over time. Probably many of you are still here. um, if yeah, I think going back to Susan about I think right now on one invoice we can add one tax rate, but adding two tax rates is a simple fix. If you use it and it's not working, I can have our developers quickly add another, like basically on one item you want to add multiple tax types. Here it's probably just one, but if you want to add multiple, that should be a feature that we can add without any hesitation. I will make note of all of these feature requests and such. I would love for you guys to use it. Like I said, uh, Tabby will, and it's only getting what you're seeing today is probably just the beginning. It's going to get way more advanced. It's just going to get more efficient, and we're going to continue adding features that will help accountants work faster, and so you can deliver more value to your clients. Yeah, I'm reachable through email. I'm reachable, through social media as well if you're there. You guys have the link. So please, sign up for an account for your firm. There's no cost there. Afterwards, if you can start trying it with one or two clients, and then as you like it, continue adding more. And this is a great time to do a little bit, kind of maybe a little learning before it gets busy. January comes. If you have a client that just throws you 12 bank statements, you literally upload it to Tabby, and that like Tabby will categorize that in maybe 10 minutes. You can have a whole P&L done. So it's yeah, that's pretty much where it is. Let me just yeah, I think with the sales tag, we can definitely make it robust. That just wasn't our like primary focus, but 100%, I think sales tax could be should be marked as taxable, and then that rate, yeah, should be added to the invoice. Yeah, I see what you're saying with sales tax. I think that's something um as we just added Stripe. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for joining. We will probably do demos. We do it once a month, sometime twice a month. So if I'm not on the, if you have questions, you reach out. If not, we'll do another demo. Also, feel free to share this with other accountant friends that you have, bookkeepers, accountants, or even some clients. Maybe you have clients who like to do their own stuff. Like maybe they're too small where they don't need to hire a full-time bookkeeper. They're just doing things on spreadsheets. They're doing things manually. You can just offer them, hey, and in fact, we have an affiliate program, so you can get paid for referring. So I'll send the affiliate login. So the accountant profile, there's no affiliate kind of for adding clients on your accountant profile, there's nothing. But if you refer clients who want to just kind of do their own thing, there's an affiliate program there. In fact, we increased it. It says $52. I believe our website was not updated, but its website is going through overhaul. All right. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, everyone. Tina, thank you. Sherry, I see Shahif, Paul, Desiree, Derek, and the rest of everyone else that's on the call. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the summer, and hopefully I'll see you on another demo.